Good morning, everyone. Our little Chewini is joining us today. She recovered. She's doing really good. Hey, Saturday morning, the day before we get to meet together again, we're going to do church outside at 10 o'clock Sunday and a lot across the street from the school. Bring your own chair and a mask. Hey, we'll maintain our social distancing, but we get to worship together. Woohoo. I'm excited about this. My devotion today is about rewards in heaven. I love it when I read the Gospels and I see how dumb the disciples were sometimes. It gives me hope. It proves to me that, this is what really happened. Because if any of us were writing our own story, there would be some things we would edit out. Some embarrassing moments that might not make the final draft. But the Bible records it all, the good, the bad, and the just plain silly things that some of these guys have said. In Mark chapter 10, Jesus and the gang are heading up to Jerusalem, and he's telling them, I'm going to be killed, I'm going to be handed over to the Gentiles, I'm going to be mocked and spit on. Man, he's pouring his heart out, heading to Jerusalem to die. And James and John pull him aside. Teacher, grant us whatever we ask of you. Were you guys even listening? He just told them he was going to die in a few short days. Grant us whatever we ask. Kind of reminds me of a little kid. Just say yes, just say yes. Grant that we can sit on your right and your left in your kingdom. We deride James and John for this request because it seems the opposite of humble. But they were onto something we seldom talk about, and that is rewards in heaven. Jesus told a story about a landowner who hires workers for his vineyard, and he hires a bunch of guys all through the day. And then when quitting time comes, he pays them all the same. Now, some people take this to mean there are no rewards in heaven. It's kind of like T-ball. No winners or losers. Everybody gets a trophy. Yuck. But the Bible also teaches there's going to be rewards in heaven. Being there is going to be awesome. But we're going to get rewarded according to our level of service. Isn't that crazy to think that deeds done here in this little window of time will be rewarded forever? Jesus said, beware of practicing your righteousness before men. But when you do give, do in secret, so your left hand doesn't know what your right hand is giving. And the Father who sees in secret will reward you. It's the same with praying, not for show, but to God in secret, and he'll reward you. When you fast, do it in secret. And there in that same passage, he says, lay up treasures in heaven. And that's more than just being there, you guys. That sounds awesome. Treasures in heaven. Now, what could that be? The streets are paved in gold, so what kind of treasures await us in heaven? It's going to be great beyond our wildest imaginations. God is perfect, and I can bet the rewards he has picked out are going to be incredible too. Our good works are known and rewarded in heaven. Faithfulness in this life is just sending it on ahead. Saying no to the passing pleasure of sin and yes to righteousness. That will be rewarded forever. Later in Matthew, in chapter 16, verse 27, Jesus says, a day is coming when he will return in the glory of the Father, along with the angels, and he will repay every person according to what he has done. See, God gives fair and just rewards for deeds done in this life. Not to worry, sin has been dealt with at the cross for those who have been saved by grace through faith. So the only thing this passage could be talking about is rewards. Because this is not an isolated passage either. 1 Corinthians 3:14 affirms that if we build on a foundation that survives, the rock of Jesus Christ will receive a reward. And then the judgment seat in 2 Corinthians talks about this as well. So what are these rewards going to consist of? And the parable of the minas in Luke 19, which is a parable of the talents kind of retold. But the faithful servant who invested the master's money were rewarded with more work. And they govern with Jesus as he sets them over cities. Now, what a joy to lead people on the new earth where there'll be no false motives, no hidden agendas. We'll lead people to love others more, to serve Jesus more completely. Man, it'll be fulfilling. So let me read this section from 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 3, starting at verse 11. For no man can lay a foundation other than the one which is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Now, if any man builds upon the foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, straw, each man's work will become evident, for the day will show it, because it is to be revealed with fire. And the fire itself will test the quality of each man's work. If any man's work which he has built upon remains, he shall receive a reward. If any man's work is burned up, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet as through fire. Now, what good works has God given you to do in this life? How encouraging is it to know that you'll be eternally rewarded for your faithfulness. Doing the good deeds God has prepared in advance for us to do will pay dividends forever. Let's not miss out on any reward, you guys. Love you. Hope to see everybody on Sunday.